Benny, you didn't play a major role on the weekend, but nonetheless a tough pill to swallow, that game.
Yeah, I think, do you know what, it gave a lot of opportunities for a lot of guys that game time had been limited. I thought some boys, in fact there was a lot of endeavour, a lot of hard work out there, and Scarlets are a well-oiled team that have been together for a very long time in terms of the coaching staff, the players and the playing at home. So I don't want to make excuses, but I think we've just got to be realistic. There's a lot of guys that got some good minutes under their belt. The commitment was very, very high. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to manage some key periods. And when another team's got 70% of the ball, it becomes very difficult.
Talk about one of those guys, Ben White, who's come on leaps and bounds this year. Are you enjoying watching Ben grow? Are you enjoying watching Whitey become almost a senior player in the group now, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And I think he's not alone. Joey Hayes as well as another guy that's getting a lot of experience. Then there's guys like Sammy Lewis who has times have been limited, but on the training pitch works incredibly hard. Tommy Raffel's another young guy. So we've really got a core group now that are coming through, and that's really pleasing because I think the club's always been about those young guys coming through, the crop of players, and we've certainly got a really core group that will come through and hopefully be at the club for years to come.
You've got plenty of caps now in Europe as well, 67 I think it is. Do you feel like an old head? Do you feel like a senior player in the group by age now?
I don't behave like one. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean it's you play, and the more you play, the more the seniority comes, I suppose, with it. Through that experience of playing. Been fortunate enough to play in 67. So yeah, it's nice.
Talk about one more Euro game, which is very important to us, which is this weekend. Anytime a club like Ulster comes to Welford Road, it's going to be a big night. But more importantly, even though it's a dead rubber, this game still means a lot to this group, and it means a lot for the makeup of the rest of the season. Is that a fair comment?
Oh, absolutely. We really want to establish Welford Road as a real fortress once again, and we want to build on what we've done against Quins, against Gloucester, and obviously now Ulster. So we want to try and build with momentum at home, and that's no different this weekend. So we're treating it as a huge opportunity to carry on performing and keep springboarding towards the consistency within this side, which although we've made huge ground, I think there's a little bit more to come, and this weekend's a great opportunity to try and do that.
You've been here a long time as well, not to keep harping on your age, but you've been here a long time as well. How is the morale in the group? How's the feeling in this squad? You've seen it all, you've seen ups and downs. This one seems, from the outside looking in, still pretty positive, even though it has been a really tough, emotionally draining season.
Yeah, look, the mood's actually really, really good. Camaraderie is very, very high. The group is a really good bunch of boys. Everyone is very much all in it together, all pulling in the same direction. So I'm excited that we've been able to get some of the results and the performances that we've been working towards, because it's a reward for the hard work that guys and we've all been doing for a long period. We've had to work a long time to try and get those results. It was nice that the last sort of month and 5 weeks that our performances have been a lot more where we want to be, and we're not accepting where they're at yet, but there's certainly a lot more what we're about. So the mood's very good. We'll continue to build on that. Mood always improves when you win, and we've been able to win a fair few recently. So as I said, this weekend back at home, we want to make sure that we can carry on springboarding on that.
A new guy in the group is Phil Blake. You've worked with Blakey before. He's an out there character, a very intelligent rugby man. How's his first week been? What influence has he had already?
Yeah, look, I mean, Kenny Rogers has settled in really, really quickly, and I think it's. Can I say that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Look, Kenny Rogers has obviously come back in, and he knows the environment, he knows the boy. I had a really good working relationship with Phil before he left. And now he's back. It's great. It's like he's never sort of been away. So he's really adding to that clarity around the fence. And we've got someone there that's really passionate about defending. He knows a lot of the guys. He knows the Premiership very well, having had a spell with us before, and obviously with the Wasps. So his knowledge is invaluable, and we're already trying to make sure that we use every bit out of him.
Finally, I want to ask, not to look too far ahead, but Six Nations is coming up. You're looking forward, obviously, hopeful of selection, but are you looking forward to this year's tournament? Last year wasn't the most positive for England. A big one in a World Cup year for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's an unbelievable tournament that captivates even the non-sort of rugby lot that tend to only tune in for Six Nations once a year. So for me, I think after the weekend, if I get the honour of going away, then it's a hugely exciting time, especially with everything that's coming up and everything we work towards. So yeah, look, the season's exciting on both fronts, isn't it? Because Premiership now on the other. On the second half of the season, the Premiership, and we're actually in a fairly good position there. We've got Six Nations coming up, then you've got the run-in for the league when I come back, and then obviously 2019, which is a huge thing for a lot of players to try and get involved in. So yeah, it's an exciting period coming up.
You might get to face Jonah as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's a possibility to play him, which would be nice.
Thanks, mate.